yesterday, if y'all remember, I did the show about Big Tigger. Big Tigger, right? And so initially, what came out was that Big Tigger's wife did a video. She did a video that was making its rounds on social media. In fact, let me pull the video up so that you guys can see it. It was this video right here. So it was this video right here where she basically came on camera and showed that she had this big gash on her face, eye swole up, and she said, "Ask my husband how this happened to me," right? So everybody on the internet was assuming that Big Tigger had busted her head, I guess, or whatever, right? That's what everybody was assuming, right? So then she comes back and says, "I never said he was an abuser," right? Now, Big Tigger came out and he made this statement. Where is it at?
I'm not gonna lie, this whole situation
untrue.
The statement alone.
I want to say categorically, these allegations and accusations that have been circulating about me are false, untrue, not happening, didn't happen. Additionally, it's important to clarify that Francesca and I have never been anything more than friends and respected colleagues.
So let's pause right there. So basically,
because it's shenanigans like this, because a lot of times Alicia has a.
So basically, Francesca is one of his co-workers. His wife has accused him of messing with Francesca. So this is what I thought yesterday, and I gave y'all my theory. We saw her with the face split. She said, "Ask my husband how this happened." Then she later said that her husband wasn't an abuser, talking about Big Tigger. I speculated that maybe she caught Big Tigger and Francesca together, and maybe allegedly Francesca is the one that split her shit, right? Which would give her the ability to say, "Ask my husband how this happened to me, but my husband's not an abuser." That's what we thought. That's what I thought. But I was incorrect, because now that the warrant has came out, now I know how everything happened. Now I know how everything played out. So basically, she had went through his phone, saw the text messages between him and Francesca. She got mad about the shit. She starts talking shit to Big Tigger about the situation, right? You know, I know you messing with that B and and all of that craziness, right? So Big Tigger says, "Oh my God, you're crazy." And he starts recording her, I guess, as proof of her craziness. But he tells her, "You're crazy," starts recording her. So when he starts recording her, she snatches the phone away from him. Once she snatches the phone away from him, Big Tigger Goldberg spears her ass to get his cell phone back. In other words, he tackled the shit out of her, right? He tackled her to get his phone back, or at least I think that's how it happened, right? So, no, it's either that's when he tackled her or he tried to tackle her downstairs. Because basically what happened, from what I heard, is that after he got his phone back, she was like, "Oh, you want to see crazy? I'll show you crazy." And said she went downstairs and started unplugging his computer equipment or something. So he went, followed her downstairs, and said, "What do you think you're doing?" and tried to stop her from unplugging his computer equipment. I don't know. Maybe he works from home. Maybe he does the radio show from home. Who knows, right? Maybe it's an internet radio show. I don't know. So she's pulling wires and unplugging shit, and he's trying to stop her. Apparently, the door to the room was cracked open. It was still open. So he pushed her or something. And when he pushed her, she hit her face on the corner of the door. Like, bow. And that's how she ended up with the whole, Phantom of the Opera shit. You feel me? So, because of that, the police charged him with battery. And because her 13-year-old son was in the house when it happened, because apparently the kid that Big Tigger has by her is not the only kid she have. In fact, she got a 13-year-old son, and she has a daughter that everybody claims is missing, and nobody's investigated it. And some, I don't know. I don't know about that, but somebody needs to do something about that. Somebody needs to do something about that, right? Because if that's true, if she has a daughter that's missing and nobody know why, she need to be brought in for some questioning and shit too. But he got the child charge because the 13-year-old was in there and heard the whole situation go down, right? In fact, I think I got a couple of videos where a couple of people are talking about it. Let me see if I can pull these videos real quick. Let's see. Here's one.
We now have the arrest warrants for V103's Big Tigger. Let me tell you what's in them. This is all alleged and only in the perspective of Big Tigger's wife, Alicia Brown. According to Brown in these arrest warrants, her and Big Tigger, aka Darian Morgan, got into a huge fight because she allegedly found text messages between him and another female in his phone. And at some point, he allegedly called her a psycho. But things only escalated from there. Brown claims that he began to record her. And at some point, she snatched that phone out of his hands. And that's when she says he tackled her to the ground, bruising her bottom lip. And it didn't stop there. According to Brown, when she got to her feet, she headed straight to the basement and said, quote, "In these arrest warrants, I'll show you, psycho," and began unplugging Big Tigger's computer. Well, at some point, she says Big Tigger restrained her, and she kept telling him to get off, which she says he didn't, and began pushing her out of the office. And at some point, she lost her footing, and she says that she hit her face off the door, cutting it. Now Morgan faces aggravated battery and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. And why he has that cruelty to children charge is because police say a juvenile was in the home during that alleged altercation. We now have the arrest warrants for V103's.
This is crazy. This is wild.
So the arrest warrant for Big Tigger was released, and apparently all of this started because of text messages between Big Tigger and another woman. So apparently when she was going off about these text messages, he called her a psycho, and then he started recording her. She snatched the phone out of his hand, and he wrestled her to the ground in order to get the phone and ended up bruising her lip. She then was like, "I'll show you crazy," and ran to another room and started like unplugging his computer. I don't know what she was doing with that, but she was like unplugging his computer, and he tried to stop her, and eventually he shoved her head first into a door. I'm guessing the door was cracked, and she split her head on the door, and that's where the little, the bruise and all that, the eye thing when she was crying in the video, that's where all that came from. But with all that being said, I'm not taking nobody's side. He could have very well did that. I don't put it past no man to do that. But here's what I want to talk about. Lady, where is your daughter? Where's your daughter? Your missing daughter. Where is she? She has a missing daughter, y'all, that nobody has been able to find. Why aren't the police actively looking for this missing child? She apparently lost custody or something to her baby daddy, and they were saying that she didn't want to give the child to the baby daddy, and then the child just went missing. Where is your child? Like, I don't want to talk about nothing else. The abuse, the domestic violence, I don't care about none of that. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to entertain that. We have some more pressing issues to get to here. First things first, where is your child?
Yeah. So I'm going to look into that. the whole thing about her child, I'm definitely going to look into that, because that just sounds crazy. That just sounds wild, right? So I'm going to look into that. But here's my thing, right? As much as I can't stand Big Tigger, I can't stand him. I've never liked Big Tigger. I've never liked him from day one, or going all the way back to Rap City. I cannot stand Big Tigger. In fact, I can't stand Big Tigger so much, I don't even like people that have the same face as Big Tigger. Like people who look like Big Tigger, I can't. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. But I will say this. With this situation, now that the warrant has came out, what it sounds like is that she ain't got no damn sense. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Big Tigger has married a crazy chick. That's what it sounds like, because all of that crap was initiated by her. All of it, right? As much as I cannot stand Big Tigger, I cannot completely blame him for this situation. One, she had no business going through his phone. Two, he shouldn't have had to tackle her to get his phone back. Three, she should not have escalated the situation by going downstairs and unplugging. See, every one of these instances, she's messing with his property. When she took the phone, that's his personal property. When she went down there and started messing with the computer, that's his personal property, right? So I don't like the fact that he's getting charged over an accident. It'd be different if he clocked her and that's how she ended up with it. That's a whole different story. You lock him up for that, right? But the fact that she allegedly hit her face on the door because he was restraining her and she lost her footing, he shouldn't be getting in trouble for that. He shouldn't be getting in trouble for that. Like, unless they're just charging him with the tackle. Now, if they're charging him with the tackle, maybe, but even then, he only did it because she took his personal property. So, like, it's one of those situations where it's like, as much as I can't stand Big Tigger, I can't totally be against him on this one. Now, the one thing that I will blame Big Tigger for, I will blame him for creating the situation for this bullshit to metastasize. Like he is the focal point. You're the one that created this entire situation when A, you're married crazy, and B, you put your Johnson in crazy. And look, I'm going to use this as a teaching moment for many of you young men watching this, bro. You got to be careful about who you deal with. This is the main reason why in my book, The Angryman Standard, and you definitely need to go and get this book. You definitely need to go purchase this book, man. In The Angryman Standard, Chapter 1, we talk about understanding female nature. Okay? First, you got to understand female nature. And then, in Chapter 2, the vetting process. The vetting process. Like, bro, you got to make sure, like, bro, making sure you don't pick a crazy chick is half the battle. Making sure you don't pick a crazy chick is half the battle. And I need y'all to go, and I'm not joking, right? I need y'all to go over to the angrymanchannel.com. Those of you that are in here that have not already, I need you to go over to the angrymanchannel.com on the main page. See where it says get the book? See where it says get the book? Click that and get the damn book. You can even get you a autograph copy. But go over there and get the book, man. Go over there and get the book. And while you're over there, get some merchandise too. Get some merchandise too. You feel me? While you're over there, go get you a Beano Nation t-shirt. You feel me? You see that right there? That shit is fly. Go get you a Beano Nation t-shirt. But yeah, you got to make sure you're not dealing with crazy. Because that's half the battle right there. That's half the battle right there. Big Tigger put himself in this situation the moment that his goofy behind decided that he was going to get into a relationship with crazy. And that's just the reality of it. So when the situation first dropped, the headline gave you a name and 2 charges. That's it. A radio host that some call a legend. Now, I'm not going to go that far to call him a legend. I'm not one of those people. But we got battery and cruelty to children. He posted his bond, and then pretty much everybody else moved on, right? But this warrant, it reveals a lot, okay? Now, keep in mind, the warrant is under oath. The warrant is what the officer swore actually happened. And once you read it, you kind of wonder what's really going on here. Now, like I said, I believe personally that the chick is crazy. Like that's what I believe, right? From the warrant, it says the fight didn't start over money. It didn't start over the kids. It didn't start over the house. It started over text messages from a female coworker, allegedly, right? The same coworker that Big Tigger went on the radio show and claimed is just a friend. So before we talk about the violence, we need to understand what started all of this. She saw something in his phone that he didn't want her to see. Now, why she was in his phone in the first place is a whole other story. Just shows you the type of program that he was running. Either way, it didn't end in no conversation. Now, according to the warrant, Big Tigger became Big Tackle. She grabbed his phone and he tackled her. Bro tackled her on the floor in order to get his phone back. Instead of just saying, yo, stop playing, give me my phone back. And look, I get it to a degree. Going through someone's phone is a violation of trust. But bruh, you shouldn't find yourself in situations where you're having to tackle abroad to get your personal property back. If you're having to tackle your girlfriend because she took your phone from you, you've started off wrong. You've messed up in some kind of way to get it to that point. Now, the cruelty to children charge. When we look at this charge of cruelty to children, to me, that's a bit much. At first, I thought it was a situation where the kid heard the commotion and intervened. And because the kid intervened, he got hit by Tigger or something like that in the middle of trying to break it up. But no, he's getting that charge simply because the 13-year-old was in the house and heard it. Now, while I'll admit that's something, that type of thing can be unnerving, right? For a kid. But that charge sounds exceedingly heinous. Like it sounds like he did something to the kid. Like it sounds like he beat up the kid. And as much as I don't like Big Tigger, I think that's a bit much. You know, I could be wrong, but I think that's going overboard, right? But back to the initial charge. I told you from day one that Tigger is about to get the ghetto pass that no unpopular person would ever get. All right. So I'm not worried about Big Tigger getting into no whole lot of trouble because the community is going to give him the pass. Trust and believe. Right. Because I noticed right on cue, you got a lot of people making excuses for him. You know, they're saying stuff like he's going through something. We don't know the full story. Let the courts handle it. And again, I got to point it out just like I pointed out yesterday, because it's funny how the full story, it's funny how the full story only matters when it's somebody you like. Let that be somebody else that's not popular. Let that be a regular guy from the neighborhood that catches the exact same warrant. And watch how fast the crowd is ready to try him and convict him before lunch. Now, look. I kept telling y'all over and over again, and I'm going to keep telling y'all over and over again. The standard is the standard, if you have one. One standard for everybody, no favorites, no flinching. The standard can't change because you saw this dude on Rap City, or he has an unassuming personality, or even with the chick playing the victim, right? The second the rules change because someone is popular, you don't have a standard. You basically have a fan club. Forget that it's Big Tigger. And let's look at the whole scenario. As much as I disagree with the woman going through his phone in the first place, homie was a little too comfortable with flaunting his side piece. Because I think that's what happened, right? Or at least that's what I believe happened. If you gotta, if you have the type of chick that loves to go fishing, in other words, she loves to look for shit, right? Even when there's no problem, she's trying to catch you cheating or whatever and all of that BS. If you've got that type of chick, you know she's gonna go through your phone, right? Couldn't be me, but it would make sense that you wouldn't be having a bunch of text messages with your coworker where the two of you are flirting with each other in your phone if you know your chick is about to go through your phone. See, this is the pattern that I keep telling y'all about. As a man, you got to hold it down. You shouldn't even be running that type of program where a woman is comfortable going through your phone and engaging in these type of activities. And look, if you want to smash mad chicks and be free, just stay single instead of creating situations that land you in jail. Somebody in the chat is probably going to say, come on, Angryman, it's Big Tigger. You know Tigger ain't did nothing wrong to nobody. Look at the good he's done for the city. He's a pillar of the community. Look at his career. Man, look, I don't care about none of that. Your resume can't be your character witness when you decide to deviate from said resume. The work he did on the radio doesn't get to vouch for the man who doesn't know how to run his house or his program. I'm sorry. He out here looking goofy right now, whether you want to admit it or not. And look, I'm not going to front. I feel bad for the 13-year-old boy. You feel me? He had to hear dude in an interaction with his mother where he felt like his mother was being attacked. Because I don't think Tigger is the father of that child. So there's no telling what that kid was thinking. He probably felt powerless and all of that foolishness, right? And by the way, I keep hearing about how this lady has a missing daughter. Someone should investigate that. Not saying this is an excuse for Big Tigger doing the Goldberg spear, But if she's guilty of something like that, lock her ass up too. Because like I said, the standard is the standard, no matter who you are. But here's the bottom line. I'm not celebrating the man's downfall, if that's what this is. I'm not even pretending like he's evil or that he's the devil. As much as I can't stand Big Tigger, I'm saying the warrant says what it says, and what it says, some of it is jacked up. This is simple. To all the fellas out there, never put yourself in a situation where you're dealing with these type of activities. Never date, cohabitate, or marry a woman you got to tackle to get your phone back. Hell, never be with a woman who would go through your phone in the first place. That's a violation of trust. And if you want to live a bachelor life, just be a bachelor. If you're with a chick and you find a new chick that you're feeling more than the old one, just leave. Just break up with the chick. Just get your divorce and move on. Will there be emotions? Yes. Will there be emotional drama? Absolutely. But it beats the hell out of going to court for assault. Trust and believe. But with that being said, shout out to everybody in the building who came through and supported the show. I definitely appreciate every last one of you guys for hanging out with me. We went a little over the 3-hour mark, but it's all good because we were enjoying ourselves. Salute to everybody. And to the guys, like I said, man, definitely go get the book. Definitely go purchase the book, and definitely go get you some Beano Nation merchandise. In fact, I got to order me a couple of the new shirts that I designed for myself. So make sure you guys going over there. I think I might make a new coupon code. If I do, I'll send out emails so that you guys know. But with that being said, salute to everybody, and I'm going to holler at y'all later. Deuces.
The session is closed. The board is dismissed.
I gave you the blueprint, now go build a estate. Stop arguing with broke, man, stop debating with fate. We don't negotiate value, we dictate the price. You watch the show for free, I just gave you a slice. But the real ones know where the equity lives. We taking everything, we got nothing to give. The manual is waiting, you know where it's at. This ain't a gamble, it's a guaranteed bet.
Build, protect, lead. Go and plant the seed. Build, protect, lead. That's the code we need. Go to the side, secure the command. The Angryman channel, the standard of the land.
The Angryman
Get the shirt, get the book.
Start watching, start working. We up.
The session is closed.